Welcome to Step by Step, the podcast where I break it all down. Life, drama, gossip, and everything in between. I'm your host, Taya, and this is my audio journal, filled with stories, reflections, and the kind of tea you won't find anywhere else. Each episode, we'll take it step by step, starting with Monday mindfulness to kickstart your week, diving into the magic of Wednesdays with our main episode, and wrapping up with Your Say Friday, where your stories, questions, and even a little anonymous gossip take center stage. This isn't just my podcast, it's ours. So grab your headphones and take this journey with me, one step at a time. Welcome back to this week's Monday Mindfulness, where we kick off with reflections and tools to elevate our mindset. Today, we are talking about envy, a feeling that creeps into our lives quietly but can leave a powerful impact if left unchecked. But what if I told you that envy doesn't have to be a negative force? What if we could turn envy into inspiration to fuel our goals and dreams? Let's start with the basics. According to the Oxford English Dictionary, envy is a feeling of discontent or resentful longing aroused by someone else's possessions, qualities, or luck. It's the voice in our head that whispers, "Why can't I have that?" Now compare it to inspiration. The Macmillan Dictionary defines inspiration as a sudden feeling of enthusiasm or a new idea that helps you to create something. It's that spark that says, if they can do it, maybe I can too. The difference lies in perspective. Envy focuses on lack, while inspiration focuses on possibility. There is enough room for everyone to shine. But here's the thing. Envy isn't always loud and obvious. It's often subtle, creeping in as we scroll mindlessly through perfectly curated social media feeds. Sometimes we don't even know it's there. Social media, it is designed to trigger envy, and that's why it's so successful. People want what others have. It thrives on comparison. We see filtered images of dream houses, perfect bodies, ideal vacations, and flawless families, even though we know deep down that much of this is staged or exaggerated. It leaves us feeling less than. Have you ever logged off after scrolling and felt just a little worse about yourself? That's no coincidence. Social media sets us up for a cycle of discontent. Even worse, it tempts us to play along, posting our own curated highlights in a bid for validation. The irony is, behind those picture-perfect posts often lies an imperfect reality. That perfect couple might be fighting behind closed doors as they post that photo. The dream vacation might have been a stressful disaster. Often people find the need to highlight parts of their life that maybe they're insecure about. Not in every situation, but it can happen. So how do we break free from this cycle of envy, from using social media as a form of self-sabotage? Because these platforms do have good when they are used properly. So you can start by curating your feed. Mute or unfollow accounts that don't make you feel good. Follow people who inspire you and bring positivity into your life. Some people stare at their ex-boyfriend's new girlfriend as a routine, becoming unhealthily obsessed and feeding their insecurities with assumptions and comparisons. You should scroll mindfully. Approach social media with intention. Don't let it dictate your emotions. And try not to aimlessly scroll, because you will see a lot of unwanted triggers and information if you do. It has a lot to offer when you're mindful of what you're seeing. It can inspire you, connect, and entertain us in wonderful ways. Envy doesn't just show up online though. It often hits closest to home with siblings, friends, or colleagues. It can feel especially confusing when we're jealous of people that we love and when we really do want them to succeed. Maybe your best friend got a promotion. While you're happy for them, there's a part of you that feels inadequate. This is where we need to get honest with ourselves. Denying envy doesn't make it go away. It just buries it. And buried envy can manifest as resentment, judgment, or even self-sabotage. Envy can be passed on as judgment towards others. So the most loving thing that we can do to ourselves is to acknowledge envy. Instead of judging someone's confident walk and labeling it as arrogance, ask yourself if this is something that you admire and desire. Honestly reflect on your feelings, and there's no shame there because you don't have to even tell anyone. Just reflect internally. We are raised with jealous villains, like in Snow White, Lion King, Cinderella, literally in everything. Envy is portrayed as evil. So when we grow up and feel jealousy or envy, we panic and attach shame to this very human emotion. Envy is not evil. It is just an emotion and a representation of our fear. We may fear we will lose an opportunity if someone else has something that we want, and may be hypersensitive to other people's successes. Sometimes you think it's envy, but it's fear. So to overcome it, you need to heal your own insecurities. It is an effective way to remove envy by working to remove fear and doubt. And another way is by turning your envious feelings into inspiration. Again, envy is a thought that there's not enough and that you will miss out, whereas inspiration is an endless supply. You probably don't enjoy feeling envious. So luckily we can reframe our thinking and choose an inspired perspective to push us closer to our dreams. Envy can be a powerful tool for self-discovery. It shines a spotlight on our insecurities and our desires. Acknowledge it and then ask, is this something that I want for myself? Dissect it. Dissect the situations and the emotion. Remove your judgment to others and to yourself. Replace it with compassion and kindness. See what somebody does and use the thinking form, if they can have it, I can too. Use other people's success to inspire you in your vision. Maybe they can even give you some wisdom. Media is constantly tearing people down and encouraging trolling and judgment through reality TV, article headlines, and trolling. People are so quick to judge, but not check themselves. Call it out when you feel it or see it, or there will be a unity of jealousy against one person who earned their place fair and square. Let's build each other up and not tear each other down. Celebrating others is a form of self-love and compassion. It shows the universe that you're not threatened by success and that you can be inspired and that you are inspired. Use social media for good to find what you want for yourself. See what people have succeeded in and use their knowledge, learn from the mistakes. When you see your friends out to dinner without you at a new restaurant, add the place to a list of places that you want to go. The universe has more than enough love, happiness, and success to go around to reach us all. It is not a limited supply. So let me help you turn envy into inspiration right now. Make the conscious choice to participate and remove guilt and shame. Think of 2 things recently that triggered your envy. Now see it in a different perspective where you can attach to something there that maybe you could be inspired to instead. If you need an example, imagine you have a clothing brand and next door is a much more successful clothing brand. Instead of being envious of their successes and the fact that they make more money, think about what they are doing to stick out of the field. Maybe it helps you find a way to stick out too, and you can both get the customers. When you feel jealous of someone and what they have, you cannot practice gratitude at the same time. Not true gratitude. For example, you cannot wholeheartedly be grateful to be in a long-term, loving and committed relationship if you're envious of your best friend's single adventures. So to end this episode, I'll give you 4 steps to help you turn envy into inspiration. The first is to acknowledge it. Awareness. Again, like with everything. When you notice envy creeping in, don't judge yourself. Acknowledge it without shame attached. Next, practice self-love. Offer yourself some compassion and kindness. Remind yourself that you are worthy and capable of what anyone else has if you choose. And then learn from it. Ask yourself what this envy really reveals about your desires and fears. When you judge someone else, figure out what is driving those fears and what do these other people have that you want. And lastly, reframe it. Choose an inspired perspective. Instead of viewing someone's success as a threat, see it as proof that your dreams are possible too. The more self-love you offer towards yourself, the easier it will be to transform envy to inspiration. Love who you are and the person you are becoming, and the less likely it is that you will be triggered by the things around you. Think of envy as a mirror. It reflects what we desire most, but might not believe we can have. When we reframe envy, we replace lack with abundance, fear with possibility. When we let go of envy and choose inspiration, we shift to a high vibe state. We celebrate others' successes and trust that the universe has enough love, happiness, and success for all of us. So this week, whenever envy arises, pause and reframe. Let it guide you towards self-discovery and growth. Thank you for listening. Please show your support to my podcast, and I will see you soon.